All right, so now what we did in our last example, we had the graph and we figured out the coordinate plane. Now we're going to be given the coordinate, the xy coordinates, and then we're going to graph the point. So my first one, A, I'm going to graph the point A. Okay. So to graph the point A, remember that this is the x comma y value. So for A, we always start at the origin. I have a positive 4, and that's the x value. In other words, this is saying that x equals 4. Now, it's going in the positive x direction, so I'm going to go from the origin, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 units. Now, I have a positive 1 for my y value. In other words, y is equal to positive 1. So going up is the positive y direction. So from here, I'm going to go up 1 unit. So I went 4 units to the right in the positive x direction, and I went 1 unit up in the positive y direction. So this is the point A, which lives in 4, comma 1. Think of it as like an address. Actually, your GPS works on the same principle. Actually, the GPS was built based on this type of grid system. So, sort of. Okay. All right. So now let's do B. B, again, this is my X value, and this is my Y value. Okay, that's a bad X. So this is saying that my X is equal to 0. Now what that means is from the origin, I go 0 spaces left or right. So I don't go to the left, which is the negative X direction. And I don't go to the right, which is positive direction. I just go 0 spaces. Now, Y equals negative 3. So what does that mean? If my Y value is negative 3, what do I do from this point? Can somebody tell me? If I'm trying to graph the point 0, comma negative 3, I go 0 spaces in the X direction. But now, if I have a negative 3 for Y, what do I do to get to the point B? In other words, do I go up or down if my Y value is negative 3? No, you go down. You go down because the negative Y value is down. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. This is the point B, which lives in 0, comma, negative 3. Okay. Now for C, we're going to do the same thing. I realize there's a bug flying around, but I'm teaching you. That bug is not teaching you. Pay attention. That bug is not going to hurt you. So look, you guys are going to help me with this one, okay? My X value for C is X equals negative 2. Where do I start when I go to graph a point? Huh? Well, sort of. The negative 2 is important, but where do I start every time for every point?
In the middle.
In the middle. What's the fancy word for the middle?
Something like that.
It's called the origin. So I start at the origin. Now, if X equals negative 2, what does that mean? What does this negative 2 for X tell me to do? Go left. How many spaces? 2. So when I go, what this is saying is I'm going to go 1, 2 spaces in the negative X direction. Right? Here's the X axis. Right? Left or right is the X axis. So I'm going to go 2 spaces to the left from the origin. See how that has the 0 there? So let me write this down in case you guys forgot. The origin is where the two intersect, where the X and Y axis intersect, and that's when X equals 0 and Y equals 0. We always start there when we graph something. All right, so now if I go back to C, my Y value is equal to negative 5. So what does that mean? That's right. From here, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I went 2 units in the negative x direction, right? That was my x value. My y value was -5. So C lives in -2, comma, -5. Okay? Any questions on that?